Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Black Hat USA 2018, Las Vegas, Nevada. Chuck Harold, SecurityGuideTV.com, ASISTV.com. I got too many .coms I got to remember. The next one is KingandUnion.com. John Cassidy. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, I love that
it.
name. It sounds like an Irish pub or something, well, or British. Where did the name come from? What do you guys do?
Yeah, so the little backstory on the name. So King and Union are actually, it's the crossroads of where our office is in Old Town Alexandria. But the better story is we came up with the name based on King Arthur and the legend of the island of Avalon, which is really the best place in the world that you could be in an island. To everything is working well for you in a collaborative way, at least with security.
Okay.
So that's where it kind of came from.
Makes sense. And what do you guys do?
So what we do is we actually have a software-based platform that's focused on building a collaborative environment for cyber analysts to actually amazingly get into a system and actually work together on a common problem.
Different cyber people from different companies.
Absolutely.
Open source intelligence, kind of.
Yeah, so it's also, so you can work within your company in a more effective way across your organizations with SOC operators or analysts. And also you have the ability to reach out to your peers and colleagues. So instead of using your email or using Slack channels, you can use the Avalon system to actually communicate with your peers and colleagues to get to the point when you can actually get to a great point of analysis.
Now, this sounds like kind of a unique thing. You're one of the few people in the space doing this?
I would say so, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what we kind of found over the decade or so of my career in this space working on information security for the government was that everybody was inundated with threat data and
too much.
Yeah, too much, and buying tons and tons of data feeds and throwing money at the problem. There's stovepiped organizations and stovepipe units of operators and analysts, and what we're trying to do is break down those barriers and actually make data that people are actually purchasing or using from an open source more effective when they're using our system.
Now, do you use a peer-to-peer connection to keep it semi-secure and all that kind of thing?
So there's security built into the system with two-factor authentication. We're also adding in some more verification for identity protection to make sure that if you are working for a particular bank or for a healthcare organization or energy company, that you actually know who you're working with in that trust group within the platform.
Or would it be better to have everybody anonymous? So maybe I don't want you to know that I work for a bank. Can I be anonymous?
You can, absolutely. So we actually have what we call hidden trust groups that are fully anonymous, that are unknown to anyone else in the system except for who you invite into your domain.
Now, everybody gets hacked nowadays. Any bad guys try to get into your systems and snoop and eavesdrop on what's going on?
Yeah, and I mean, that's a common thing, and I think it's with any system that's created. So the guys that have built up our platform over the last couple of years have built in those protections, and we're constantly monitoring who's accessing the system.
So you must have a separate room, a chat room for the King and Union attacks to talk about the vulnerabilities.
Absolutely. We have our own security team for our security product.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very interesting. Now, how long have you guys been around?
So we started the company in April of 2016.
Oh, wow.
And so we launched the company, and we officially went with our first generation product, our general release product, around July of 2017. So we've been ramping ever since.
So define the difference between risk and threat to me. Is there such a difference? I think there is. I think it's a fine line.
Well, I think that there's risks that everybody faces, and then there's certain threats. I think the threats that we see, of people on our platform are varied between nation-state attacks and other type of attacks that are going on. So, I look at threat as a much different word than risk.
Is a threat something that's actionable? A threat may be something you have to do something about sooner than later?
Well, and I think a threat is something that you've noticed and it's already sort of been happening, right?
Oh, okay.
So a threat is actually something you've realized that could be of an impact to your environment. So that's what we're trying to do on the Avalon platform, is getting people together that might be experiencing potential threats and working together for the same common cause.
It's interesting you say that. I think that's the key to success here. So when I was at the Disney, we didn't have a bunch of computers back in the day. We had some. Yeah. But we just had guards fill out logs and write down license plates and visitors and something. And we'd go through and read them. And one day I'm reading 5 different locations. I see the same license plate at all 5 studios.
There you go.
And I just picked up on it, and turns out that guy was taking pictures. Doing surveillance. Lucky I caught it, right? Because I happened to read it. But this is what we need to win, right? Because you can't have all these silos. IBM might have the key to everybody else's success.
Absolutely.
One piece of data that if they share with everybody else, we could win. And I think this is a brilliant idea. Yeah. Is it is it taking off? Or we got some big players in this space?
Yeah,
or?
so we've got a big group of companies from Fortune 150s, from government agencies starting to leverage and use the platform, and we're really starting to begin to find a lot of success around organizations that are wanting and willing to cooperate. So across, whether it's an ISAO, which is Information Sharing Analysis Organizations, or ISACs, that are actually willing to share threat information, we're kind of giving them an ability to work a little bit better than just having a bit bucket of information.
Right.
They're actually able to get into our platform to work together in a much different way with data than ever has been able to before. So.
Do you find private organizations share better than public institutions? I
think that's a trick question.
Well, because I talked to the law enforcement guys, right?
Right.
And they say, oh yeah, we have these places set up where the public can come share information with us. I want to believe them, right? But by the nature of their job, they got to be a little confidential. But do some law enforcement agencies, don't name names, belong to King and Union and share and participate in that?
So there are both public government institutions and private organizations.
Okay.
I think I'll answer with the safe answer and say that there's different skill levels across different organizations.
Yeah.
Some are able to leverage and share in a much more effective way. And I think that's another problem that we're trying to solve with our platform. There's certain people within certain industries, whether it's finance, banking, or healthcare, that have very substantial, sophisticated capabilities. And what we're trying to do is allow others that are in those areas, whether it's healthcare or finance, to benefit from all that great work that some of those more sophisticated companies are doing.
Yeah.
So really be able to push down that intelligence and expertise to other people that could benefit from it.
I think it's the key to winning. John Cassidy, KingandUnion.com, KINGAND Union.com. Thanks for coming on ASIS TV.
Thanks so much for having me. It's a
Security Guy Radio,
pleasure. Thank
Security
you.
Guy TV, Black Hat USA, all those places. Thanks for coming on the show.
Great. Thanks so much.
Great conversation.
Great.
Back in a minute.
Thanks.